All right, there we are. We're live. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Let's see where we're at here. Let's see who's all in the house. We got Delbert is here. Carol Prince. JJ's in the house. Janet, Kathy. Emil is here. The Guardian Life from California. So welcome everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. Mary Taylor, Julie Evans. All right. Well, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys had a good start to your week here so far. Uh, Again, I took a couple of days, Sunday and Monday, and I did nothing. No live streaming, no videos, no nothing. I just needed to take a couple of days, so that's what I did. But we'll get back to regular stuff moving forward. So the title is video. Obviously, you'll see it says, it's time to be smart. So we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. But before we get into stuff, let me just remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness. If you cannot do that, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we are not going to tolerate any of that kind of stuff here. So that's having said that, let's get started. So let's talk about uh, being smart at this point in time. A lot of distractions going on, obviously, right? We got the whole thing happening with the drones, and everybody's flipping out about the drones. And there's all this speculation. Yeah, the Burgermeister, the Burgermeister. Is my volume low? Shouldn't be. Let's see. You're probably hearing. I got the. You're probably hearing the heat's on, so maybe that's 5 by 5 there, Mary. Okay. All right. Well, maybe it's on your end there, Vlad K. I don't know, but anyway, if you want to try to sign out, sign back in, maybe that's the problem there. I'm not sure, but anyhow, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of speculation of what things are. Now let's talk about these drones just for a second, okay? Do you really think that there would be something that the U.S. government would not know what it was going on, that they would be like, well, gosh, we don't know what it is? There's no way. There's no way. They absolutely have to know what it is. They have to know what's going on, because that's not something that they're going to allow to happen. A lot of speculation. Like I said, people want to read things into things, try to make a big deal out of things. I mean, my one of my favorite was that Iran had a mothership off the coast, and that's where these drones were coming from. Like, first of all, that they could do that they would have the technology to do that they would be able to do that without us knowing it, that there was some ship out there. I mean, there's just absolutely no way. So again, when you have these things are in the headlines and they're using those as a distraction, you have to ask yourself, what's really going on? What's happening? Why is these things being pushed out there to keep us distracted from what is really happening? And and I don't have the answers, folks. I don't know what's really happening. Hey Jane, good to see you from Phoenix. You're out in Phoenix, very good. But what I do know is this: when we're not focusing on what should be important, and we're being distracted and looking this way and not paying attention and doing what we need to be doing, it takes away our attention from the important things. And I think a lot of times, a lot of things are done for that purpose, to keep us distracted, so we're not paying attention, and so we're not focused on what we need to be taken care of. I had done a video the other day, and I talked about, or actually, I think it was today, I talked about. I had gone out, and as a group, we are stocking up here at the homestead as a group. Okay. Allegedly, the drones were out searching for a lost or stolen nuclear warhead. I heard that one too. And trust me, JJ, if that was the purpose of the drones and that was what they were doing, do you ever think they would let us know? Oh, by the way, yeah, these nuclear warheads are missing, but don't worry, we're looking for them. I mean, but drones are selling out like mad right now on Amazon and eBay. Well, there you go. But yeah, that's kind of funny. That is kind of funny. So, but yeah, they're never going to tell you if there's something nefarious going on, or if there's something that we really should be worried about. They're not going to tell us. Trust me, because you know why? They don't want the public to panic. That's the key. They don't want the public to panic. So they're never going to give you that information like that. They're going to let people go ahead and spin things and keep your focus off of what, like I said again, what's important. So what's important, and as I was saying, as a group, we have been, stocking up. I mean, individually as a group, people have been stocking up, but they're also, as a collective, we have been putting things together, and getting, food and those type of supplies together to be in a position. I'm going to tell you what, I don't make predictions. I don't say this is going to happen, that's going to happen. I look at stuff and I say there's a lot of things that could happen. There's a lot of things that we should be concerned about. When something does happen, it's not a matter of if when or if something's going to happen. It's a matter of when something's going to happen, because it will happen at some point. I mean, let's look at Syria, right? They were, in power over there for over 50 years. And then just like, boom, they crumbled and were done, right? Isn't that interesting how quickly that happened? And I'm sure I am, I know, that we, the United States of America, probably had nothing to do with helping rebels to get to where they needed to be. I'm sure we didn't. I mean, because why would we do that? We wanted Assad out, but we would never get in bed with somebody else to get him out of there. So, um, but again, there's a lot of underhanded stuff going on all the time. And so be smart about what you're doing. Prepare the best way that you possibly can. And I'm going to be doing, like tomorrow's video, will be the 3 o'clock video. I'm going to kind of show you when I went out, and I'll talk about what I spent and where the money went and all that type of stuff. So we have a game plan that we're trying to incorporate down here, and one step at a time. I talk about that, one step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. You can be pulled in many different directions if you don't focus on one thing. Okay, here's where we're at. This is what we want to do. And I'll give you an example. Like, we're stocking up on food. So one of the things that we're focusing on right now is like beans. Okay, beans have a very long shelf life, better than 30 years. And so, that's a smart prep to have. High protein, and stuff like that. So probably have 7 different types of beans. What do I do for a living? How do I fund myself? I really don't talk about, I work, I have a job. I am a retired nurse. I did nursing for a long, long time. And so I don't do that anymore. But thank you very much for the donation. Thank you for the question. I do make money off of YouTube. So that helps to be able to do what I'm doing down here. since they started, doing what they've been doing, not making what I used to make. So, you know, I had to go back to work to be able to, survive. So, if they ever stop doing what YouTube is doing, and shadow banning or whatever else all they're doing, and it's not like just my channel, folks. There's a lot of channels. They don't want us to get our message out there, so they restrict us, so people can't see us, they can't find us, and all those type of things. So, but I just I do my thing, and that's how I do what I need to do to survive. So, but and like I said, if I'm not liking doing something, I wouldn't be doing it. So, and I enjoy doing YouTube. Um, Occasionally, I need a break. I mean, I've been doing YouTube pretty steady for about 11, 12 years now. So, there's times that you go, okay, I just need to step away. And that's what I just did for a couple of days. I needed to step away. And so, now I am back. But anyway, I was going to tell you, so one of the things that like I said, we're focusing on getting the beans. So one of those beans that we wanted to have, obviously, is pinto beans. Not obviously, but pinto beans is one of those beans. Well, as a group, we had 20 pounds of pinto beans. Okay. So the initial goal right now, all these different types of beans that I have, is to get them all up to at least 100 pounds each. And then once we get there, then we can expand and do whatever other things, and and continue to add on to that as well. So with this trip out that I made the other day, I ended up picking up another 80 pounds of pinto beans to get that one that I know for sure now that's at 100 pounds. The other ones I'm going to have to inventory here and figure out exactly what what that's going to amount to. We should be like black beans. We should be pretty good. Lentils, we should be pretty good after this trip. And then we're just like I said. Then I'll know. Okay, so I'm here and here on this one. This is what I need to get next time, and we'll just do that, and we'll get to where we want to be. But and then it's storage and having some place to put things and all that type of good stuff. And so it's just like I said, it is a process. It is a big time process, and nothing worthwhile happens overnight. Nothing worthwhile happens without effort, blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, those are things that you got to think about. What sacrifices did you resolve the frozen water tank situation? Yeah, it warmed up, JJ, and the tanks unfroze. I mean, that's but obviously that's going to be something in the future we're going to have to address. So I was talking about that a little bit in the private live stream. So everything, so here's the reality of everything. Okay, everything that you do, everything that you go through is a lesson. You learn, um, and that's important. So when you make mistakes, and it's like when I talked about the tanks, and people were like, "Oh, will those tanks freeze?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 they'll be fine." Well, they weren't fine. We had a cold streak that lasted for a little while, and the tanks froze up, and I was not able to use the tanks. So was that disappointing? Yes, it was. Was I not going to tell you guys to make myself not look stupid? No, because if I can do something and I make a mistake, okay, I definitely need to get something in there to circulate the water. You're right, Mary Taylor. And there's a bunch of different options that I can use, even if I'm using it on one or two tanks for right now to be able to utilize that. There's definitely options, but it's a learning lesson. So if I can teach you and say, hey, look it, I did this, I was wrong. I made a mistake. I'm always going to do that. And I'm going to take the heat, and I'm going to take the people telling me that I'm an idiot and whatever else. But, if you don't make mistakes, you're not learning nothing. So, what the key is, make the mistake, learn from it, fix it so it doesn't happen again. You know, just like with the generator that I had issues the year before, right? Didn't run it, or the first year, I think, when I was here. I didn't run a generator for 6 months, 7 months because everything was good. And then all of a sudden, when I needed to use that generator, I hadn't been firing it up once a month to make sure everything was good, and it wouldn't start, and so I had an issue. And so thank goodness I had backup generators to be able to utilize. So again, those are all things that you can learn from. And if you can take that as a teaching moment and say, hey, look at, I live off grid and this is how I screwed up. Okay. I mean, I've been living off grid for more than 10 years now. So I might know a little bit about what I'm doing. And I'm going to tell you what, folks, I've made a ton of mistakes. No doubt about it. Will I make more? Yep, I sure will. But the key, again, is learning from your mistakes, sharing your mistakes. How many channels out there? Let me just ask you, of the channels that you guys watch out there, how many channels will actually admit that they screwed up, that they made a mistake, and show you so that you can learn from their mistakes? I mean, I don't know the answer. I really don't. But I don't think a lot of people would want to do that because they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to look stupid. They don't want to go, oh my God, look at this guy. This guy's supposed to be, doing this, and this is how he screwed up. But to me, it's so important that we learn from our mistakes. And, and like I said, if I can avoid you having to go through what I went through in any type of stuff, I think that's important. So, what do we got? 164 in the chat. We got 64 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a big, big difference with the algorithms. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure that you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Shipping delays amid lake effect storm in Erie, Pennsylvania since Black Friday. People are up in arms, among other things locally. You're always going to have, well, thank you for sharing that. And you're always going to have people that are going to be unhappy. You are not pleasing everybody all the time. That's one thing. Like Steve used to joke with me. He would call me when he was down in Maryland, and he would say, "What's the matter? You can't keep 100,000 people happy?" You're never going to keep everybody happy. There's going to be people that don't like what you're doing. They don't like your voice. They don't like the way you look, whatever the case may be. But hopefully, there's enough people that do like you that go, hey, that makes sense. I like the way that they're doing that, and I like the thought process. And that's what I really I think is important is to try to share with you is that thought process. What's my internal thing going here? What am I looking at? What do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? And my goal, realistically, for myself, my group, my family, when things go bad, that everybody gets here, and hopefully everybody does, right? And that we hunker down and don't leave for a long, long time. Don't go anywhere. Focus on taking care of what we need to focus on here. And if we have, a bunch of people here all the time, well, guess what? Things are going to get done, and they're going to get done in a hurry because it's going to be, okay, what is our priorities now? What do we got to do now? To make our lives better. And that's what it comes down to. And I think that, that's important. But if you give yourself, that leg up and put yourself in a position where you're going to make progress, you got a better chance. All I'm looking for at the end of the day, I want an edge. I want an edge over everybody else out there that's doing stuff. Oh, I want to share this with you guys. I don't think I shared this. I may have. I may not have. So I got my basket full of beans, and I also picked up gravy mixes. Okay, and so I had a bunch of those. So I'm standing in line, getting ready to check out. There's a couple ahead of me, and he's got a Navy hat on. It's a Seabees, so obviously he's a veteran as well. And his wife turns around, and she goes, "Wow, that's a lot of gravy mixes." And then her husband turns around and looks, and he goes, "He's a prepper." And the wife goes, "What?" He goes, "He's a prepper." And I looked at him and I went, "You're 100% correct." So him and I had a conversation, and he's also a prepper. And that's how he was able to look at that, recognize, and go, "Yep, this guy's stocking up." So we had a really good conversation. He was really really nice guy. His wife was really nice as well, but you could kind of see her go, "Oh God, not another prepper." But he was telling me, he says, without telling me exactly where you are, he goes, "Where are you located?" And I kind of gave him, a general idea. And he was like, "Well, we're over in this area." And I'm like, "That's cool." So I gave him the channel name and I said, "If you'd like to connect." And it's always good to network, folks. It's always good to have people, excuse me, have people that maybe down the road you can work together with. And so that was really cool. And like I said, it was a really good and positive conversation, and I enjoyed that. But I had some other lady had come up to me. How do you deal with the human waste and garbage with all these people on the site? Um, a lot of stuff can be burned. A lot of stuff. Like when you go to a state park, Fort Smith, right now, what do you do at a state park? Carry in, carry out. So that's what happens a lot right now here. If we're here full time all the time, then we got to worry about other things at that point in time. But right now, that's not the case. If everybody was here full time, one of the first things that we would have to be looking at doing was latrines. That would be important. And where are we putting the latrines? And, where's the waste going to go? How are we getting rid of the garbage and all that type of stuff? A lot of stuff can be burned if you're doing it the smart way. So, I mean, that's a good question though, and I do appreciate that. But there is a game plan that we have for long term that we don't have to implement right now because people are coming down once a month. So it's not like the only one that comes down for longer than that is generally Dave. When Dave comes down, he'll be here for a couple weeks, and that's fine. But that it's just like I said, it's you know yeah, a lot of your scrap stuff can be composted, right? Like if your vegetables and your all that type of stuff. Do you think you might build yourself a small home one day instead of a camper for more room? I do plan on doing that. That is a great question again. I am hoping, I got to see where I'm at financially and where things are going to be, but I would like to start building something in the spring. That's kind of what I would like to do. I want to build about a 20 by 40 building. So all one level, and be able to get that going and get started. And if I can get it started and going and get it dried in before the winter comes, then I could work all winter inside working on it while still staying in the camper for right now. I mean, that's an option, but yeah, I do want to have something for myself here, and I have some plans. I don't, like I said, our road is so narrow here that if you're going to bring a building in, you can go 32 feet long with no problem, okay? But it can't be bigger than 12 foot wide. We're not getting anything in here bigger than 12 foot wide because of the road in. So, that limits what people can get. And that's why you see the buildings that are in here. Like Dave's is 32 feet long, and we got some are 24 feet long, but not any of them are bigger than 12 foot wide. So, and like even with Rob plans on doing an addition because, even Mark has talked about doing an addition. He built his place down here and he was like, "Yeah, I went too small. I'm thinking about doing an addition." And I'm like, "If you want to do that, that's fine. Do what you got, I don't care, So I mean, it gives us more opportunities. But I think that's my game plan for me is to hopefully start building. I don't know. Off grid living. She said, "Are you doing a live next Tuesday evening?" I'll know what my schedule is on Thursday, and what I'm going to do as soon as I know what that schedule is. I'll try to set up the live stream for the following week so that I can do it on whatever day I have off. So, but that's kind of like this week. I had yesterday and today off, so I'm working like the next 5 days. So on Thursday evening, I'll have my schedule for next week, and what I'm going to try to do, like for my hardcore members, and for you guys, I'm going to try to set up the live streams with enough advance notice that you'll see them and you'll go, oh, okay, he's going to live stream on whatever day. Unfortunately, YouTube ain't paying what it was paying before, and so I can't do YouTube full time like I was doing before. So I have to go out and make a living. So that's what I've been doing. And so that's why not as many live streams. I would love to go back and do the live streams, like, do the Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday live streams again. I just right now can't do it. So I try to do what I can. And, I knew that I was planning, in my head, I was planning, okay, Tuesday, I'm going to do a live stream. I did my live stream for my hardcore members at 6, and I'm doing this one here for you guys now. So, you know, but it's just, and then see, the hard part is this, okay, as probably everybody knows, trying to do content, trying to take care of things, and then trying to work on top of that. And, now having a dog and puppies on top of that, it keeps me very, very busy. It keeps me very, very busy. But you know, that's just part of, it's I'm trying to do the best I can. If there's days that I do one video and don't get a second one up, like I said, I just I either don't have the time or I just can't do it. So, but like I said, this last couple of days I just took off. I just needed there's been a lot going on. Been very, very busy. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying I just needed a couple of days to decompress, if you will. so, but so the puppies are 2 weeks old today. All right, and I want to put this out in here too. I did a video earlier today explaining it a little bit, so I want to explain it on here as well. I am not going to wean the puppies at 4 weeks. That's not what I said when I talked about it. I said Hella will start to step away more at about 4 weeks. And then at that point, I will be introducing wet food to start out with. And so I'm going to get some canned food for that. And start introducing water. And then hopefully by 6-7 weeks, they are transferred over to hard food. And so I picked up a big bag of, I have 9 puppies altogether. She had 10, and one did not make it. One was stillborn, but the other ones are all doing well. I have 6 males and 3 females. The one that didn't make it was a female. So, but yeah, there is a game plan of what I want to do. And if I am home, they will all be in here with me. Okay, that's the game plan. If I am out and about, Hella and the puppies will be in the wolf's lair. So, but yeah, Poopy, yeah, no kidding, you think? But right now she's still eating it. So, I haven't had to worry about that yet. But their eyes are just starting to open up. They're cuter than crap, I'll tell you that right now. They're doing awesome. She's been a fantastic mom. She's done a great job with the puppies, and like I said, they're just everybody's doing okay, and we're just gonna, they're gonna come into themselves, and I know we're gonna get to a point soon where it's gonna be like, holy crap, I got puppies running everywhere. So we will address that when the time comes as well. So it'll come together. It'll come together, and but and then once I haven't even really put it out there yet because they're not at an age where people can come in and look at them and go, oh yeah, I like that one. I mean, they're just mostly sleeping right now. May I suggest you simply feed them dry puppy food, but start it mushy. Add some water and let it get soft, and then transition will be easier. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, I appreciate that advice. See, that's the thing. See, that's advice. That's somebody, hey, here's an idea, right? And then they say you can take it or leave it. I like that. Instead of somebody saying you need to. But I appreciate that advice. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I'm keeping at least 2 of the puppies. that's part of the game plan. I am keeping at least two of the puppies. Now, if there's a puppy or two that doesn't sell, then most likely they will stay right here. They were born here, and if I don't sell them, then this is where they'll stay. So that's the plan. But yeah, I'm excited. Their colorings are beautiful. Got a couple of them have lightened up, and they were a lot darker than I thought they would end up being. But it's because I thought maybe a couple of them would be as light as her, but they're not. So but there's some that are lighter, and some have more of your traditional German Shepherd look, which is fine. So, do you Hey Ed, do you got any idea on how to keep the water catchment from freezing? I do. There's stuff that you can put in. They put in for like cattle tanks and stuff like that to keep the water. It's just an element that you put in there and you plug it in, and that'll keep that water going. So right now, we're just gonna work on what we're working on and take care of what we're gonna take care of, and we're gonna go from there. But the weather down here, guys, it's not. See, this is not like New York. That water tank, the big one that I had in New York, that 550-gallon tank, that would freeze solid every year. Every single year that froze solid. So, there was that. And so, you just had to, in New York, it gets cold, it stays cold, the snow stays on the ground. Down here, yeah, we'll get like this weekend, we got a couple days where it's going to be cold, Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday, it starts to warm up again, and then it gets warmer during the week. So, my girl was light at 12 weeks, but much darker after a year. Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, we'll see what they do. So by the time they're ready to go to whoever's going to take them, they'll be good size. They're already, I can't believe how big they are already. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at them, I'm going, man, these things are growing fast. And like I said, they're cuter than cute, and they're doing really well. And Hella's been a fan. It's like she's laying out right here, right now. So that's why they're as quiet as they are. During the other live stream, she went in there, laid with them, and they were all feeding. So it's but they're fun. So finally caught a live stream. Been extremely busy the last few months. It's like everyone but classic cars all the same time. People are scared of EMPs. So back to carbs. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things that can happen. And there's a lot of things, Tim, like we have zero control over. We're not going to make a difference, when it comes to that. We can hope, we can have, that hope, which is great, but there's no guarantee of anything. So the more prepared we are, the better we are ready to deal with situations. I mean, I think what happened to a lot of times with a lot of people, okay, and I could be completely wrong, I don't know, but I think a lot of people went, okay, Trump got elected, everything's going to be great now, and we got nothing to worry about. Well, there's always things to worry about. There's always things that can happen. I mean, there's no guaranteed that he's going to make it for 4 years. I mean, they've already tried to kill the guy twice, right? So that's something that we need to pay attention to. So again, you know, we got to be smart, focus on what we can control, and I think that's more than what I want to than anything else. Focus on what you can control. What can you control? You can control what supplies you have. You can control, your power situation, your backup power situations, making sure you have plenty of gas, making sure you're rotating that gas, making sure you have plenty of propane, making sure you have plenty of food that is going to last way longer than you think you're going to need it for, because number one, you may need it for a lot longer than you think. And number two, there may be more people that are going to come to you for help, that want your help, that you're going to be willing to help. Not saying you're going to help everybody, because you can't help everybody. You can't say, like my ex-wife used to say, and I used to love this line that anybody remembers the show Baywatch, right? With Hasselhoff, right? Was the lead lifeguard. And she used to say to me all the time, she goes, you can't save them all, Hasselhoff. And that's a fact. You can't save everybody. You might want to save everybody, but you can't spread yourself so thin that it hurts the people that you really need to take care of. So, if you have a lot of extra and you can do something, then great. But the reality is that you got to be as smart as you can be. Take care of what you got to take care of. So, but it's just that's what we can control. So I go out, I continue to buy food, I make sure that my gases are always topped off, make sure my propane tanks are where they need to be, and if something happens, then I go, all right, now we go from here. So people are finding old Chevy, Mazdas, Vegas, RV buses, couple of Novas, couple classic 60s, Ford F100s. They may have more normal drag engines, but are built for the drag guys. Nothing wrong with that. If you get these older vehicles, if there is an EMP, which I honestly don't think that that would be the case, to be honest with you. But if there was, those type of cars are going to continue to work when everybody else isn't. So now with the thing with that, right? Okay, you got a vehicle that works. That's great. But if you don't have a good stock of gas, you're not driving the thing. And if you get out on the main highways with all the dead cars in the way, what are you going to do? You can't get out and move every one of those cars. So, you gotta plan for that too. What are you going to do? How are you going to get around? Motorcycles would be a good option, right? Because you'll be able to navigate with a motorcycle. So, some food for thought. So, and I'm not talking about like a motorcycle like my motorcycle. I'm talking about like an off road motorcycle. So, but yeah, like I said, just control what you can control. Be as ready as you can be. And here's the key thing that I will tell you: if you are planning to go to a bug out location, if that is your goal, if that's what you plan on doing, my advice to you will always be: at the first sign of trouble, pack it up and get on the road as quickly as you can. There may not be a lot of time for you to make that move. If somebody said, "Well, you know what? We'll go in the morning. We'll leave then. So get a good night's sleep, and we'll leave in the morning." And they wake up in the morning, they may not be able to, and they just miss that window of opportunity. That window of opportunity could be as small as 12 hours. I mean, the government. I mean, think about this: if the government wants to control the roads, right? Control the highways, shut them down, and do all that type of stuff. That's going to take a little while to coordinate. All right. Could they do it? Yes, they can. Okay. The main highways I'm talking about, not all the back roads and all that type of stuff, but I'm talking the main highways. But that takes time to coordinate. So that's not going to happen instantaneously. So it buys you a little bit of time. So if you're trying to get to your bug out location, the best advice, like I said, go as soon as you feel like there's an issue. Get there, and even if it's a false alarm, right? Even if it's a false alarm, you can use that as a learning experience. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? What did we leave behind that we go, crap, we should not have left that behind? I mean, and then you can also go, okay, well, let's leave some of this that we brought down with us on this trip at the bug out location. And so, those are all things. I mean, when it comes to having a bug out location, there's a lot that goes into it. Storage. What do I have there? What do I have to be ready? Do I have clothes, and do I have tools, and do I have gas and propane, and everything else that you're going to need? Seeds and all those type of things. Do you have them there? Are you ready to be able to utilize them? Those are it's huge. The list. I'm telling you what. If you want to just sit there and blow your mind and basically shut you down from doing anything, look at the overall list and go, "Oh, that's too." A lot of people, it's too overwhelming. They don't want to do with it. Okay, so I don't think so. Natty Light, King Kong. I don't think that they're looking for nuclear materials. No, because they wouldn't tell us. that they were doing that. They wouldn't, So I just think there's a lot of misinformation being put out there, but I don't believe that that's what they're looking for. I don't know what they're doing, to be honest with you. I'm not going to say that it's this, that, or the other thing. Uh, let's see. When you get up here, we'll show you what we got set up for fuel and transportation. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. But again, like I said, it's just be smart. That's the key right now. Be smart. Stay focused on what's important. You know, get yourself in a position. You're looking for an advantage, folks. That's it. That's what we're all looking for. We don't know what the event will be. Uh, you know, it could be any number of things, and it could be something that we didn't even see coming, and go, "Holy crap! I didn't see that one coming." So you just have to look and go, okay, what do I need to do to give myself the biggest advantage? And again, a 2 week supply of food and water. All right. I mean, look at it from that perspective. The minimal that you should have is a 2 week supply of food and water on hand at all times. Because what that does is after 3 days, when all these other people that basically go to the store every single day, or maybe they go once a week, when they're all out of food, you still have an opportunity to sit back and plan and go, okay, what are we doing? Are we leaving here? Are we not leaving here? What is our game plan? And that's what it does. It buys you time. And so, while other people are already starting to starve and panic and all that type of stuff, you're not going to, because you've got a buffer. And like I said, that's for me. The more that we have here, the more ready we are when that time comes. We're going to be in a lot better position because I mean, if you said to me right now, Prepper Nurse One, uh, do you have an inventory of all the food that you got down there? Absolutely not. I do not. I never had an inventory. Oh, I did at one point up in New York. I had an inventory of exactly what I had, but I continued to add on. It's not like I went, okay, I hit this level and I'm good. I've never done that. I continue to go, okay, what can I add? What's going to be an advantage? Like there'll be stuff on sale, and I'll go, ooh, I let that's on sale, and I'll grab a case or two of whatever it is, because it's like I said, I'm looking to try to just continue to stock up and rotate, eat what I like. And there's the other key when you're buying stuff like raviolis, or like I'll show you. Hold on. Now here's a couple things that I like. Do I eat them all the time? Not all the time, but I like them. The beef by let me get over here. We go. Beef Chef Boyardee mini raviolis. I like those. Those are really good. I get the pasta rings with the meatballs. I like those. So if I get in the mood and I go, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to have tonight. That's what I have. Hello, baby. So, it's like, but I have a lot of these on hand. And I know some of you are going to go, oh my God, that's so unhealthy. Oh, well, when that time comes, if I got that unhealthy can of whatever, you're going to be begging me to have some of it. So, I mean, but I think it's important that you prep what you eat as well. I think that's really important. Ed, would vacuum packing things in 5 or 3 gallon buckets work? Have some buckets thinking about putting vacuums and then sucking all the air out of it with a vacuum pump. Yeah, if you want to vacuum seal stuff, I think that that's a good thing to do, a real good thing to do. So I see you. Yes, you're a good girl. That definitely should be vacuum sealing things. I either vacuum seal it or I use Mylar. With Mylar, you throw a couple oxygen absorbers in there, and then I actually, when I went to New York this time, I had that I brought back with me is a flat iron. With a flat iron, that's how you seal your Mylar bags, and it works great. So because I'm definitely not using a flat iron for my hair, but it works great. Again, for vacuum or for sealing up your mylar and using the oxygen absorbers. You can do it that way as well. I mean, there's a lot of options. I have a lot of 5 gallon buckets that I've used. Now I like to use the gamma lids because you can twist them off nice and easy, pull, open it up, and there's your stuff. I know that, like Mark, an example, what he does, he'll make 1 and 3 pound bags of stuff and seal it up, and that's what he likes to do because unless you have a large group, you're not going to eat all that all at once, so you don't want to have a whole bunch of different things open. So and that's a smart thing to do too, depending on what you're looking at. So, but like I said, it's always about options. Buy the stuff that you'll eat. Like an example would be, I'm not a big fan of lima beans. I don't stock up on lima beans because I don't like them, so I'm not going to eat them. Okay. Now, if I'm starving to death and somebody brings me 2 pounds of lima beans, whoopee, we're having lima beans. But because I put myself in a position where I don't have to have that, that's the key. So I can make split pea soup. I can do lentils, black beans, whatever, and get my proteins and mix it with the rice. And then take that package of turkey gravy today. And then 2 days from now, I make one with chicken gravy. And then 2 days after that, I use a beef gravy, so you're changing that taste. That's important. Spices are important, again, it's just, there's so many things and aspects that go into it that a lot of people don't think about, and I think that that's important to try. Again, don't overwhelm yourselves. That's probably the key as well. Set a goal, like I said with the pinto beans. As a group, we wanted to have 100 pounds of all these different types of beans. So goal was 100 pounds of pinto beans. We've hit that goal. So right now, that one, I won't buy any more pinto beans until all the other ones are also at 100 pounds. And then once that is done, then I go, okay, what are we doing next? Are we adding spices? Are we, because spices, you know, you can get a lot of spices for not yeah, we're not going to do an egg count. Right now, they're not laying, JJ. So like today, there was no eggs today. So I'm just right now they're at that point of the year where they're just we don't have enough sunlight, to be honest with you, and it's been overcast. Like today was overcast all day, so we're not even gonna mess around with that tonight. So that's once they get laying again, then absolutely yes, we'll go back to the egg count. But I've been lucky every other day to get one egg. So, but it's like I said, that time of year they were still molting, so there's a problem, partly with that as well. Yeah, guys, if you want a question to stand out for me, all cap locks. Okay, so are you ready to survive in the woods in a tent at any time? If I had to, I don't plan to. I've never planned to prep that way. Now, but if I had to do it, I could do it. But I don't plan on being in a tent in the woods. That's not part of my game plan. Are you rotating using the food in the bucket? Seems like you're just storing them. A lot of the food, Fort Smith, that I have in the buckets are long-term food stuff. Rice, beans. Rice is forever. Rice is a forever food, so you can stock that up, and it's going to be good for a long time. Beans, you're looking at 30 years. All right, so those are the things. A lot of those that are packed up in those buckets that are long-term. Sugar, that's perfectly fine as well. So those are basically a lot of the things that are packed up in buckets. Um, Iodized sugar. I have a lot of iodized sugar. That's not going to go bad either. So a lot of stuff that I have stocked up in buckets that I just stock, put away. I have buckets out here that I packed up in 2009, and that's the orange buckets. Those are the older buckets. I actually, what I did when I got them down here, I actually did a video where I opened a couple of those buckets to check, and I vacuum sealed the stuff in the buckets. Okay, and I pulled that stuff out. It was still vacuum sealed. It was still good, and like that. So yeah, those are more your long term stuff. Your canned goods, you're going to be rotating your canned goods. Now, here's the key with canned goods. Please listen, because so many people don't get this. They see a date on the can. All right, let's do that. We're going to do that. Hold on. Let me grab a can. Okay. So what it says. Let's see where's. Okay, here we go. All right. Best by date. Let's see. Okay. Is that? Hold on. Okay. Yep. Here. So here's the best by date on this can. October of 2025. That's the best by date. Does that mean that as of October 2025, this is bad and you can't eat it anymore and you got to throw it away and buy all new stuff? No. All's the best by date is that after the best by date, it starts to lose nutritional value. Morning Light, the bees are good. I checked on them just before I went up to New York and they were fine. I will go and check on them again, but they're just hunkered in for the winter. I pulled off the very top box, and I pulled the whole big square box, just the top off, and I didn't even pull off the cap thing that I have there. And I just looked in the circle, and I could see a ton of activity with the bees in that circle. So the bees are doing really well. No issues at this point. Hopefully, they're going to get through the winter just fine, and we will, that hive will thrive next year. It should thrive next year. So, but yeah, so the chickens or the bees are doing really, really good. So, but anyway, um, the best by date does not mean the cans go bad. If this can, okay, so how do I know if this can is bad? If this can is swollen, right? If it starts to swell up, or I take the cap off and I smell it and it smells really bad, don't eat it. Okay, don't eat it. But otherwise, I've eaten canned goods, guys, that were 6 years past the best by date, and it was perfectly fine. And I did that on purpose to make sure. They put a best by date on there because most people look at it and go, "Oh, that's expired," so they get rid of it and they go buy more. That's what they want you to do. They want you to buy more. So, do you see more government shutdowns and restaurant closings in the future? There's been how many restaurants have closed down that are not opening back up? A lot. You look at a lot of places. Look at Red Lobster. Red Lobster shut down a ton of stores. And so uh, you know, you're seeing that type of thing happening. So, yeah, she's back with the puppies. So, yeah, botulism will not be your friend. So, yeah, one of the things I would definitely say don't store is your tomato-based products. Tomatoes in a can and stuff like that. They don't last. Too much acidity in there, and it will eat through the can over time, and it'll go bad. So that's something that I learned the hard way. Okay, but again, if you're like rotating your stock, if you're buying the stuff that you will eat, you know, then you'll be a lot better shape that way. May we see one of the puppies? Well, I showed the puppies. I showed the puppies in the private live stream. I showed them actually a couple of the different puppies, but I don't know if I want to show them on a regular live stream. I don't know. Let's do this real quick. Do you buy the 5 gallon buckets of food rations? I don't. I generally make my own. I have a lot of freeze dried food as well. I have a ton of that. So, that's also part. You need to have three different things, guys. Okay. You need the canned goods, you need your long term food storage, and you should have freeze dried foods as well. It gives you options, and that's what you're looking for is options. So, I'm going to do a real quick, we'll do a real quick vote. Yes or no, should I show you guys one of the puppies? So, in the comments, if you want to see a puppy, put yes. And I know what the answer is going to be. So, we're just for fun. We'll see who wants to see a puppy. All yeses. Wow. All right, let me go grab one. What? I will kick your behind. What are you doing on my bed? Let's see. All right, we're gonna get this one. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Oh, terrible. Terrible. So here is one of the little girls. You see, she's lighter. You can see her coloring. Yep. So, oh my goodness. Let me grab one of the other guys. I'll show you one of the other. Oh my God, you're making so much noise. Oh, because that's because Mama's going for feeding. All right, wait. Let's take you real quick. We'll take you real quick, and then we'll bring it back. Okay, so this little guy, he's darker on the back. You can see darker in the face. So I'm gonna get him back. So, all right, there we go. Get in there. That freaking snot of a dog was on my bed. I thought she was back there feeding the puppies, but she was on the bed. She's willful because she knows she's not allowed on the bed. But yeah, they're doing. The puppies are awesome. Um, they are so much fun. I've really been enjoying them. And like I said, when I keep whatever ones I'm keeping, the toilet training should be a blast. Should have a lot of fun with that one. But I like animals, and I got plenty of room for them. So she needed a break. She was out here, Mary. She was out here. She went on my bed to be spiteful because she knew I wasn't paying attention. Now she can get away with them just coming out here. So, what is the best survival knife? You know what? I can't say for sure. I mean, it's what you're comfortable with, what you can use. There's a lot of different options out there, so I can't just say, well, I recommend this one because there's so many good ones that you can use. Get a knife that you have different options that you can use with it. That's important. Get something. Go ahead and spend the extra money and get something that's meant to last, not that's going to break the first time you use it. That would be yeah, teaching the pull sleds when it snows. Yeah, we don't get enough snow down here, to be honest with you. I mean, and when we do get the snow, it doesn't stay, which is awesome. That's one of the things I love about being down here. We still get all four seasons, and it gets cold, but we don't get snow that piles up and piles up and piles up. So that's been really, really nice. Now, will we get a snowstorm at some point? I'm sure we will. Okay, we'll probably get a good snowstorm, and we may not be able to get out for a couple days. Oh well, if that's the case, we'll be just fine. I mean, when I was sick, guys, for that week, I never left this camper for 8 days when I was sick. I stayed right here, um, and I didn't need anything. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm running out of this or I'm running out of that. Now, did I use up my milk? Yes. But other than that, but I got powder milk if I am that desperate for milk. So, you know, again, it's just you like to hunt. I haven't hunted in years. If I needed to do it to survive, I would. I don't feel like I need to do it to survive, so I don't at this point in time. I have nothing against hunting. I love venison. You know, do you prep food for 6 months? That way longer than that, Natty Light. Way longer than that. I could go years. I'll just put it like that. I could go years for my own personal preps for myself, for my family, and those type of things. Years. So, but do the puppies keep you up at night? No, they really don't. They, like I said, they're sleeping a lot, and so because they're growing, so they eat. Like right now, they're being a little active because she's feeding them. When she's done feeding them, she'll come out and she'll sit out here, and that'll be that. And then they go to sleep. So I really haven't had a lot of issues at night. I mean, now once in a while, one will start crying out or whatever, and it varies. but not bad. No, I've been sleeping pretty good. Not gonna lie. So, but anyway, guys, keep prepping. Take care of your business. Stay focused. Focus on, like I said, set a game plan. I want to get to here with this, and work on that and get to that goal. And then once you've reached that goal, then you focus on the next one. Trying to do 8 to 10 different things all at the same time doesn't always work because you don't ever get nothing done that way. But if you go, okay, my goal is to get to this level of beans, bang, work on that, get there, and you're going to be just fine. So, anyway, guys, I appreciate you all. I'll let you know as soon as I can. Like I said, after Thursday, I'll know what my schedule is for next week. I'll set up a live stream for the private live stream and also for the main live stream on here for next week when I know what I'm doing, and we will go from there. Okay. Keep prepping, take care of your business, watch out for your families. Don't pay attention to the distractions because that's what they're there for. Their intention is to distract. So stay focused. All right. I hope everybody's doing well and take care of yourselves. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.